how does this data appear in your mind's eye? So in other words, like, are you just seeing like a rapid flush of images, sounds, sights? Are you seeing like a moving, living, breathing? Just give me a sense, or is it different for everybody?
Yeah, it all depends on your modality of perception, and it also always depends on how that modality of perception kind of manifests for you. I'll explain it this way. Back to the ideogram, the B component decoding, natural or man-made. How do you come up with that? Now, an auditory viewer might close their eyes and put their pen on the ideogram and hear natural. They might hear like something speaking to them, natural. It's them, but that's how they're decoding it because they're an auditory, right, perceiver.
How do you filter out though? So this is something that's always been difficult for me. It's very difficult for someone. I don't think I've ever been capable of meditating, right? Because I have so many thoughts and images, and you probably sense this by talking to me.
Yeah.
Right? Like I can jump from things, and I frequently have to slow to talk because there's so much, like, again, the speed of thought, it's hitting me. So how do you know what is real and what is an artifact of your imagination?
Well, you're doing what every new remote viewing student does, which is you're trying to analyze as you're going through the process. And what you learn is that in order to be successful in the process, you must be capable of disengaging this analytical aspect of yourself. A remote viewer doesn't care. A good remote viewer you have to say, I don't care. I'm just going to put down what comes. I'm going to put down what data comes. I'm going to work within the structure. I'm going to do what the structure says. And if my analytical mind engages and starts to assemble data, which it does at the speed of thought, you go, this is a Taj Mahal, or it gives you something like that. It's called AOL Taj Mahal. All right, it might start with Big Ben, because of minarets. So your conscious mind, based on its experience Rolodex at the speed of light, takes that waveform expression and goes, what is it? What is it? What is it? What is it? And if it's never seen or even thought about the Taj Mahal before, it goes to the next best thing that it has in the experience Rolodex. The experience Rolodex is compiled of everything you've ever seen, heard, read, thought of, tasted, smelled, drunk, touched, et cetera, and if it doesn't have anything in that Rolodex to decode it into language, right, into four-dimensional language, it'll pick the thing that it thinks works best. Big Ben. So now you get an image of Big Ben, and so you have to declare that as AOL Big Ben. Get back into the session. You don't give a damn that AOL Big Ben came. Your job is to pick this place apart. So you get back in colors, textures, temperatures, taste. That's how that works. But that's how you shut off the analysis. But it takes practice, and it takes multiple sessions, even in a class, for people to understand how they have to disengage. The structure has a self-correcting aspect. If you follow the structure, it will keep this analytical overlay, which is a category of data, right? Big Ben in relation to the Taj Mahal, it has what? It's
structure.
Tall, it's rigid, right? It's pointed. That's the things that you're looking for. Those are dimensional aspects of something that match target data, and that's how new viewers start to perceive. That's how the opening of the aperture of perception, graduates itself. You make mistakes like that, and then when you get your target feedback, your brain is going, your conscious mind going, oh, now I see, right? And now it's looked at the whole Taj, as it's circling, as the feedback circling around, going inside, and your conscious mind, the experience Rolodex is what? It's now relating that waveform to what it actually, this is what I was perceiving. And oh yeah, now I know why I got Big Ben. It's a process you have to go through to get to that. But you asked the question of, how do you perceive? So back to the B component, which people are probably going, let's get to the B component. The B component, if you're an auditory perceiver, you might hear it. If you're A tactile perceiver, people can put their pin on this ideogram, and if their modality of perception is tactile, feeling, right? They get a feeling of if I put pressure on the pin, a tactile perceiver, this will sound weird, but just listen to me. They will actually get the feedback between what they're pushing on. It's just pen and paper, right? There's nothing magical about it. They're not really dipping into this target somewhere. It is how your unconscious mind is detecting, how your brain is decoding, and how it's teaching you or telling you to objectify. Think of it as how a sculptor can feel their work, right? Of how a painter can feel the brush strokes and the texture that are there. It's the same thing. It's a connection between here and on the paper that happens that says, it feels rigid. Oh, rigid, man-made. It feels soft and spongy. Oh, that's natural, right? So you only get to pick one. You can't put two. So whatever first comes to you is what you put down, which is a struggle. I'm just like you. I mean, it's hard for me to turn my brain off at night. It's hard for me to stop thinking about things. Often I try to sleep, I get back up, I come in, I work some more, I try to sleep some more. It's very frustrating. I know exactly how I feel. But in that situation, after pounding my head against this wall of learning this thing, I finally, got to the point. I actually asked, I said, look, I don't know if I'm in any kind of an altered state of consciousness. And I keep hearing that talked about. So what the hell does that mean? I'm asking her. And because I go, there's no brainwave trainers here. There's not like an EEG machine over here.
If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like, subscribe, and notification buttons. Additionally, if you have any feedback, please put something in the comments below. And lastly, if you want to watch the full episode of this clip, you can find it above. Thanks again for watching.